toward men. So as of right now, you guys believe in ghosts? Yes, no, maybe?
No, not at all.
Just a little haunted?
Not at all.
Didn't we do this on the last one?
We did this on the last one, yeah. We still don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, I haven't had my mind changed yet.
No. Well,
the other thing is, in general, I don't believe in ghosts anyway. I think I've talked about that.
Yeah.
What do you mean in general? Because that's sort of what I asked.
And then we were dismissive again.
Well, just like,
do you believe in ghosts? And you're like, no, but in general, I don't think I do.
In general, I don't really believe in ghosts.
Elaborate on that.
Elaborate.
Specify. What do you mean in general?
Well, because
I know what you mean. But...
Yeah, in general terms, I don't believe in ghosts. As far as like something called a ghost or the spirit of like a dead person that exists in our realm. Like my opinions on it are kind of like spiritual, but then also like it's hard to know how to talk about it because I have occasionally talked about the idea that there are, and I've heard other people talk about this too, but the idea that there could be that there could be a lingering energy in places.
That's a fart, dog.
Of like something so powerful happens in a location that there's some sort of residual energy that stays there, and what you're seeing is almost like a thumbprint. The other thing I've always thought is really interesting is the idea that what you're seeing is like a literal tear in time. You know, where like it's a point where somehow time has gotten twisted around, and you're seeing 200 years into the past interacting with our present. I've always thought that was kind of a really cool idea. I just think there's a lot more to it than ghost stories.
Oh yeah.
What year was this built?
This building is actually over 160 years old. It was built in 1859 by a gentleman of the name of Douglas Putnam. He built this house for his wife, Eliza Putnam.
What was the inspiration behind the building of this home?
Well, Eliza was a very prestigious woman here in town. She definitely loved architecture. She visited one of her friends in New England and saw all the beautiful Italianate homes that were there. And when she came back to Marietta, obviously her being a woman of stature, felt as though the home that they were living in didn't match their reputation here in the area. The house actually cost $60,000 to build, which translates to $1.7 million in today's currency. Wow. Douglas went ahead, found this plot of land, and it took 3 years to build this beautiful piece of artwork, and now it stands since 1859.
Wow. So Eliza wanted this house.
Yes.
Now, did she live very long after the building of this house, though?
Not very long, unfortunately. She only lived here for about 3 years before she passed away here due to heart failure. After Eliza passed away, Douglas, obviously Eliza was the love of his life. He was in grief for quite some time. They had several kids and everything, but eventually he did end up remarrying, and his wife at that time was not happy that she had to live in this house. This woman hated this home because he did not build this home for her. He built this home for Eliza. So in a way, she was kind of jealous. And it was said that she still felt the presence of Eliza in the house. Unfortunately, after Douglas had passed away, she wanted to get rid of this house as soon as she possibly could. He spent $60,000 to build the home. She sold it for about $12,000.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
So who purchased the home then?
Shortly after she had sold the house, there was a family that did live here that were, they owned a marina here in town, and they actually paved the driveway to look like an anchor, hence the reason the house has come by the name of the Anchorage.
So then after it was the Anchorage, the people who owned it for that naming, then it passed on to become a nursing home at some point. What is the timeline between it coming through the name of the Anchorage and then
Yes.
being turned into a nursing home.
Well, Eddie McTaggart purchased the home in the 1910s, and he owned the home until he passed away in the 1950s. After he passed away, his sister owned the house, Sophia Russell, and she tried to actually sell this house in the late 50s to the Historical Society before she passed. Obviously, it was very expensive, and nobody in the town would be able to actually put up that much money to purchase this house. So eventually, after she passed away, there was a couple that actually purchased it to turn it into a nursing home in the 1960s. So from the 1960s to the 1980s, it operated as a nursing home, which of course, when a lot of people come here to do tours and do ghost hunts and everything, they see it's beautiful down here, but it's a complete 180 when you go upstairs.
Right. Was there ever a point in time when the house was abandoned?
Yes. After the nursing home closed its doors, they built a facility just down below, which is called Harmer Place Nursing Home. There were several caretakers during their abandonment time. People would report different activity and everything. They felt really uncomfortable. They didn't feel like they could stay here.
Right.
And even down below at the facility, the nursing home staff members and patients would look up in the house when it was abandoned, when there was no caretaker here, and see that the lights were turning off and on, and they would see people moving from room to room.
Now we're on the main floor right now. Are there any rooms that have particular activity on this floor?
Yes. Speaking of Eliza, the parlor room is typically her favorite place to go.
Okay.
So I'd be more than happy to walk you guys in there.
Please do.
For sure. So this room does get a lot of activity from Eliza in particular. Since this was a room where women would retire and have tea and kind of gossip about whatever's going on at that time, this room was very, very comfortable for her. She loved to be in this space. She loved to be in this space with women especially.
In this room, have people seen things?
Yes. Eliza has been seen several times. Typically, people will see a woman, either a silhouette of a woman standing here with a big poofy dress on, as if she has Victorian clothing on, standing here, and it feels as though she's staring right at them from this bay window area. A lot of people have seen her as that silhouette, and she's also been seen as a full-blown apparition sitting on the furniture here as well.
Oh, wow.
When was the most recent time that anyone has seen it?
Well, with the whole COVID situation, we haven't had very many tours in here at the moment, but the very last tour that we did at the beginning of summer, we had a small group that came in here to do a private investigation, and they were set up in here. They had their SLS camera, they had all their gizmos and gadgets around, and they actually caught on their SLS camera the figure of a woman standing here in the bay window area. They asked if she would like to sit down to have a conversation with them, and she disappeared here and she sat in the chair that was in front of them.
That's awesome.
People have also done EVP recordings in here as well, where they would ask, is there a woman in here? And typically the answer that they get is a very soft yes. So she is definitely a very intelligent spirit. She's not any sort of like residual energy.
Right.
She's definitely very, very much here. This is her dream home, so I wouldn't imagine she has any plans of leaving it anytime soon.
Right. Are there other places on this floor that you've had activity?
Yes. Let's head on over here since the door is right next to us. I'll have to turn the light on as well. Okay. So this here is the dining room. Obviously, it doesn't really need any introduction. It's a dining room. But this room does get a lot of activity. There was a particular patient by the name of Walter that lived here for quite some time. He has been seen in this area and also in the billiard room and also in the bathroom, which is located just off of the billiard room here. He's been known to, when people are using the bathroom, to stand behind them when they're washing their hands. Or there was also another girl that works with us. She was actually cleaning up in there and she saw his like old shoes sticking out from the bottom. And of course she kind of watched the shoes, and as she looked up she could see his pale face, and she screamed and ran out of the room here. So he's definitely known to scare people, but he doesn't mean anything by it. He just wants the reaction.
Sure. Will he interact if you
Yes.
try to get him to?
Yes, he loves to talk, but he also loves to show himself. We always tell people when they come here to investigate to make sure that they respect the space, that they were here before them, and just to understand that they're not trained animals. They will do what they want when they want to.
Right.
It's true. A lot of people lose sight of that, honestly.
So your connection to the Anchorage is as a tour guide and...
Yes, in the 1980s, my mom was a nurse here at the nursing home, and I used to come with her when she would work the midnight shift. She was a single mother, so instead of paying for a babysitter, she would bring me to work with her, and I would spend the night here in the evenings.
Awesome. So what room are we in? There's a reason we chose this room to come to.
So we are in the landing room, which is called the landing room here at the Anchorage. There was a patient by the name of Clarabelle who resided in this room with many other patients. It was very heavily overcrowded, and there were quite a few beds in this particular room, but her bed was over here in the corner. She was one of the patients that my mother took care of. By the time my mother worked here, she was a mute. She had to be cared for 24/7. She had to be fed and everything. She couldn't talk. She was very crippled. But prior to my mother working here, she did speak. And she seemed to be one of the favorite patients here at the nursing home. A lot of the nurses really liked her. She was often heard chit-chatting with somebody in this particular room, and the nurses would say, "Clara, who are you talking to?" And she would say, "My friend Henrietta." Of course, no one could see Henrietta at the time, but it was definitely somebody that kept Clara company while she was here, and it wasn't uncommon for her to speak to her on a daily basis.
Now, have you had any experiences with her since she's passed on?
Absolutely. She has definitely returned here to the Anchorage after her passing. We believe as her childlike form. There is several times that there have been investigations and the name Clarabelle has came across. We believe her to be somewhere around 11 years old. We were in the attic investigating one evening, and my mother actually had came back to look at the building after she had not been here for probably a good 30 years.
Right.
And we had some dowsing rods out and asked who we were speaking with, and we did get the name Clarabelle when we asked. And she was very excited to see my mother. We had a lot of interaction, and my mom spoke with her, and she seemed very excited and remembered her. So definitely an intelligent spirit.
Yeah, that's awesome. And where are we in the Anchorage right now?
We're in the attic.
We're in the attic, okay. Can you tell me a little bit about the toys that are up here?
I know a little bit about the dolls. So the dolls are the rules, and you're supposed to ask permission to use them. If you don't, they will get mad and they will like poke you.
Yeah.
And just to let you know, like you shouldn't do that.
Sure.
Just to respect them.
Yeah. Were these dolls, clearly they're not from 18 something, of course. When did this become established that those were their dolls, do you know?
We actually brought those dolls in about 1.5 years ago per their request.
Okay.
Henrietta wanted a doll, and so we brought her a doll. Clara got jealous and wanted a doll of her own, so we brought her a doll as well. So.
There you go. So you've got lots of toys here. Did you say earlier that with the keyboard that you can ask them to play it and they may play a tune?
Yes, if you turn the piano on, you play a couple notes for them, they will try to play with it as well. But they especially do like the music box. If you turn the music box on, you crank it all the way and you just stay silent until it's completed, then you can ask questions. So they're very particular about how you get a hold of them. They're little girls, so they're kind of finicky sometimes.
Yeah, I have two. I get it. Awesome.
Dude, seriously, do you really think if you touch one of those dolls?
I just don't like puking.
But so you don't want to get sick, you don't want to puke. But do you really believe, look me in the eye
you puke?
and tell me.
Because they said the little girls make you puke.
Yeah, if you touch their dolls, apparently the doll will make you puke.
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, they said that some guy was up there.
And one of the guys said, "Well, if you're not going to talk to me, then I'm taking your doll." Picks it up, starts walking through the stairs, and he got really sick. He actually ran outside puking, and they left.
If you mess with the doll.
Well, yeah, if you mess with the doll will mess with you.
The doll, get them.
bull
Yeah.
by the horns.
You get the bull with the horns.
Wait, what is the if you mess with the best, you die like the rest?
Something like that.
If you mess with the dog, you get bitten.
you get
You get bite.
When this
You get
I'm losing my mind. All right, quick! If you could pick one ghost, what would it be?
What are you talking
To
about?
check out.
What?
To like see what kind of ghosts you could find. Let me know.
I don't even know what kind of question that is.
Well, it's you're on the spot. Type of real
But
quick.
it's a weird question.
Yeah.
Investigative report.
Okay, so Seth Heather and Courtney are team 1, and myself and Zach and Andy were team 2.
Okay.
We're gonna head up to the little girl's room and mess with the dolls.
Okay,
See
great.
What happens.
Can't wait.
We're going steps.
I know I was gonna film them going up the steps real quick. I'm just filming you guys going up the steps like the Three Stooges.
You guys with me?
Yeah.
Watch your head.
Oh my gosh, the ceiling is so short. So, she said that there's 2 little girls,
Yep.
and so I figure like the best thing we could do is just kind of chill up here for a bit.
Yeah.
And,
These
like,
dolls?
see-
Wait.
So Zach's touching a doll, which was. Do you feel sick yet, Zach?
This is my doll now. What are their names?
I can't remember.
Henrietta's one of them.
Is
Isn't
it?
Yeah.
Henrietta, this is my doll. I'm gonna take this doll from you. Is that okay?
I don't know about the structural integrity of these chairs.
There's a candy here.
You put candy.
It's a high chew pineapple.
Kind of want to sit down here.
And there's a bunch of
That
change.
mannequin really creeps me out.
Yeah. So I think we should sit on those chairs holding the dolls.
I'll do it.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Ooh.
Oh,
I kicked it, so.
that's the thing that they said, right? They said
Yeah.
that if you play. Oh, that chair is so cold. Oh my god.
You have to turn that on.
Holy crap.
That's what they'll play. So this one's for you.
I'm not holding it.
That one's for you.
I'm not holding that.
I'll hold it. Zach, you grab the other one, and we'll just sit here.
What?
The guy that watches you pee.
Yeah.
Oh, no one told me about that. That was just me.
So, the women were earlier explaining that a resident that was much beloved passed away, and he liked to interact with people, but he was like a happy, creepy old man. And he will be behind you when you're washing your hands after you pee, and when they change clothes in here, he'll like
He shows up, but just like this part of him, just staring at you,
Great.
just like that, you know.
Is he in the coffin?
I don't think so.
Probably. That's it. Don't worry.
I figured it out.
You got it.
So,
Good job.
what's the story in old perf man?
Yeah, Walter. Walter was one of the nursing home residents here who was super liked.
You came on as soon as you said Walter.
Yep. And really beloved. and he passed away here, I believe. And what has happened is that he tends to like to manifest in somewhat of a creepy fashion to freak people out. So one of the stories is that there was a woman who worked here who was changing and like getting into costume, I guess, because they do period appropriate costume for tours. And she saw his shoes on the floor, like underneath the tent, and looked and followed the shoes up and saw him staring just like a sliver through, just kind of creeping him out. But he likes to, I think they said he likes to he likes to crouch and jump up at people a little bit. He likes to appear in the mirrors, but as View said, he doesn't mean any harm. He likes to be a creeper, I guess. And
Stop being a creeper, Walter.
I mean, I think it's probably fun.
Can you play? I'm bad at that. Can you help me?
Andy, how you feeling?
A little underwhelmed. I don't know if when we were up here, there's a lot of talking about like having the feeling and like impression that something gives.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it just feels like there's nothing. I want to play the piano.
If there's any spirits, anything at all, let us know.
Come on, guys, it's time to play.
Whoa.
You just knock yourself down?
Yeah.
Come on.
I'll tell you, that little dummy, this half mannequin. Pretty
Somebody give me a light so I can wind up the music box.
Does the music box actually play?
I don't know what to do.
I don't think it still works, man.
It started earlier. Is that all I have to do?
That's about right.
Do you guys want to go downstairs and I can stay up here by myself? Like for like 5 to 10 minutes or something?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to tough it out for like 10 minutes.
I'm good over here?
Good over there. Actually, we're gonna head up here for a second.
Oh yeah, that's good.
If there are any spirits, I'm alone now.
If you turn it on, can you turn it back off? Alright, if you're here, can you turn that flashlight on for us? Please, please. So we can see it and know that you're in the room.
Oh.
Wow.
He did it. Thank you.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, come on.
Did you turn it off? Did you turn the recording off?
No, it's running.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I mean, it went on and off like one time, but I don't know if it was necessarily triggered by anything.
Any vibrations going to throw off.
Yeah, but
you have
is it the floor or the table? Because she wasn't touching the table.
All right, now see if it goes on and off, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, if it... Anything, literally anything would turn it on or off.
No, but it's the... Right. I hey, Walter, are you here?
Mhm.
And it flips on, then that's where it's interesting. And then if you can say, turn it off, and it turns off, and nobody's over here stomping the floor or shaking the table, like, not.
Random on and off isn't interesting if it's.
No. It's whenever it's intelligent communication, or seems to be intelligent communication, that's the thing.
And repeatable.
Right. Oh, yeah, of course.
Like, I would also find it more compelling if the millimeter was going off with the flashlight.
Yeah, that's true. We've had instances where we've had 2 millimeters and they both go off. Yeah. And that's really interesting.
Any spirits at all? I forget your names. Marietta, I think, is one.
Okay, so I was just thinking this.
What's that?
No, I'm just being honest. Like, you know, I've been out looking for Bigfoot in the woods and things like that, but I don't think I've ever felt like I'm doing something like pointless like I am right now. I mean, this is fun. This is a cool old house. And it's a cool place and this is fun. I'm having a great time. Just, I don't know. I mean, I feel like if we were gonna like have something, it'd happen at another time, but that doesn't make any sense. I feel like it would happen like late at night and like when it's spooky. So right now it's just.
Well, I mean, it's night.
Yeah.
I don't think ghosts keep track of time.
Yeah.
But
do you think the people down there are thinking they're seeing ghostly
sure,
ghostly lights right now?
I mean, think about how many investigators run through this place.
Think how many people were here when it was abandoned.
Yeah. And so then these people are like, oh, you know, we see people up
There's lights turning on.
Yeah, there's people in here all the time.
We were just told that the lights don't stay off unless they're right in the middle when they switch.
Exactly. Okay, that's a perfect point. Right, the lights are kind of hard to turn on, and then you think you turn them off, you walk out, and then you realize that they came right back on. Then
They gave us like a fairly natural explanation. To be fair, the whole lights turning on in all the house seems kind of breaks that rule.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. Any activity?
Nothing that I saw. It was pretty much pitch black.
Okay.
So if there was, it's probably on that. Hey, what kind of ghost are you looking for
I
today?
am going to beat you
Why?
because you guys are being rude.
Are we?
Yeah, I think so. I
Why?
don't know, a type of ghost? That kind of question is
Yeah,
that?
like a little guy or like a mean guy?
Oh my god.
A real bad boy? Are you looking for a real kind of bad boy ghost?
Oh my god. I can't.
I'm just messing with you.
Your
Are you-
Heather camera is dead.
My Heather
Are you
camera's
really
dead.
upset?
No, I'm not really upset.
Okay.
You don't.
Are you so you are looking for little like tiny little ghost things?
Oh my god.
If you can find me ghost right now, what ghost would it be? Answer the question!
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
That's true.
I was.
What's in that? What's in there?
What's in there?
That I think
Yeah.
is outside.
Where was that?
That was downstairs.
No, it was upstairs. That's above us.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It might have been.
That's definitely above us.
I'll go up. Where's the? Do you just want me to go up?
Let's
You
go.
shouldn't.
Should we like cover it?
You should go.
Well, I don't want to be down here.
No. No, but.
Is there someone up here?
No, my point is, it doesn't.
Should someone stay down here?
You should stay down here.
I don't want to stay down here by my. Fine. I'll stay down here, guys. Hey, just be careful because there are bats up here.
there's that annoying sound again.
That's just water.
Yeah, but it's annoying.
Oh, it's cold up here.
There's another little room inside of that room.
Yeah, I was in there. Yeah, I think I was back there. Or no, I just took I think it's just shine your light. There's nothing back there. I think it's another Christmas ornament.
I mean, I know I heard something walking around up here.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty clear.
It could just be things settling.
I mean,
it was like footsteps.
It was thump, thump.
Yeah.
Where's Andy?
He's downstairs waiting.
He didn't come up?
No, he said somebody should.
He said what? Someone should stay warm.
I guess.
Yeah. That creeped me out. I actually didn't think I saw something.
You know, I wasn't gonna say anything, but.
I looked at you because I heard you do whatever you said.
Did you get it on video?
I don't think so.
I got scared. No.
I might have seen a backhoe flying by. I'm not sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Santino and Seth saw it. Just two of them.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh. Dude, I'm hearing that footsteps above me.
What?
You're hearing footsteps?
I just heard footsteps above me.
I didn't hear it.
No.
Be quiet.
Right here.
Listen.
Don't.
Shh.
Did you hear that? No,
I don't.
I mean, there could be bats up there.
I'm not hearing whatever it is you're hearing this time. I heard it the last time.
Just stop. I swear I thought I heard, like,
Well, I'm gonna go all the way up then.
No.
I don't have a camera.
Take this one.
Ladies.
This is also where bats fly out.
Yeah.
I mean, if we hear them above us at this point, I don't think there's nothing else we can do. We'll tell you what. I'll stay up here. I'll just have a mask for a second. And you guys can go back down there and yell up if you start hearing footsteps.
Okay. Turn that in that direction again. That's where there's bats over there. I got nothing, Santino. I got nothing.
Alright.
Pull down. Come on down.
Well, I'm looking at what's above you, and it's the roof, so there's no one on the roof. So that was kind of the end of the night, was us checking out the bumps in the attic. Seth and Andy and I stayed up there for a second and kind of examined it, and the only thing that was above us was the roof, but it's like a metal roof. So with the snow on the roof and everything else, those bumps could very well be pretty much anything from outside.
The only thing about just explaining those away without testing it is that what we both heard was very clearly, to me, footsteps. I regret that we didn't go up there and spend a little bit of time trying to duplicate the sound we heard.
Well, I mean, ultimately, you got spooked, so you ran away.
I couldn't be in there anymore. I was gonna die.
Well, you had a migraine all day anyway, so by the end of the night we were like, yeah. But I mean, I think mostly the first time we heard the footsteps when we were all on the second level and we heard it and we all looked up, that was like a definitive like 1, 2, 3 stomps.
Right.
By the time we got up in the attic, it wasn't repeatable, like what you were saying earlier in the episode. It's like when things are repeatable, you can be a little more certain about what you're experiencing.
The footsteps were the most intriguing thing that happened the entire time we were there, to me anyway.
And it didn't happen until the end of the night. Because
That's the way it works.
Yeah, well, you were saying something about that while we were there, and you're like, it's usually like when you least expect it. So when we were there at the beginning, Andy was like getting impatient. He's like, I don't see anything happening. Nothing's happening. I'm like, well, I don't see why anything would be happening. He goes, I think it's happening at a later time. I go, why?
Your
It's
Andy
night.
impression is like
spot on.
It's like FDR. I don't understand.
In my experience, it is kind of the end of the night when you're like, all right, that's it. I'm leaving. That stuff happens. That's happened at multiple locations that I've been to.
One thing I thought was interesting was the use of like the flashlight. And I've been thinking about that. If something's there, I don't want to go in there and have to have this insane gear that has to interact in this very specific way for us to have an experience that's going to change our minds on things. Because right now I'm fairly skeptical. I know Santino's skeptical. I know you've had experiences, so you're more in the believer camp. But what I want to do is go in there with like no gear and just have an experience like someone would if they were experiencing this for the first time.
And I think that we're gonna find the more places that we go, you're gonna hear from people who've been there that it doesn't matter the time of day. Of course, I think part of the appeal of it doing things at night is that it's darker. Well, it's spookier for one, but two, all the other stimulus, like this other stimuli, are kind of died down. You don't have the bright lights, you don't have as much traffic, as much noise or whatever. I think that's part of it. Now, when you brought up the flashlight, I wanted to say that after you left, I was talking with Viva about it, who has far more experience with obviously that area, but she didn't realize until fairly recently that there's a whole skeptical thing about the flashlights, and not just does it work or doesn't it work or vibrations, but that people were saying if the flashlight has been on for any length of time, that it could heat up enough that when you have that, because it's a mag light, you have to turn it just so that the heat from the light can cause it to expand and contract enough to connect or disconnect. But that still then gets us back into the camp of if it's repeatable,
right?
And if it's something that where you're saying, well, please turn the light on and it comes on. That's where it's really interesting, not just randomly turning on and off.
Yeah, we had the 3 cameras out and we didn't get anything on. I watched the footage. The sitting room where Eliza supposedly manifested. If she did, she didn't do it on the night that we were there. So nothing on the video this time to examine. No ghost orbs, no lights, but we'll see.
Are you in pizza in the bathroom?
I knew it!